There are a few new people here. Let me remind you, I am not a preacher. I do not give lectures. I am not a philosopher. I'm a nobody. A nothing. Yet some people call me Robert the Ego Killer. You heard of Jack the Giant Killer? I have come to kill your ego. What do you think of that? You never needed it anyway. It's nothing but a bunch of trouble. All of these years you've been motivated by your ego. You've had all sorts of problems, confusion. What is happiness? Happiness is when you achieve something that you want. This makes you happy. Yet when it wears out, when it's taken away from you, when you get used to it, it makes you miserable. Therefore, the same quality that made you happy made you miserable. And this is how you've gone on since the beginning of your existence. Sometimes happy because you get what you want. Sometimes miserable because the happiness never turned into what you desire, what you thought it would be. In other words, you're like a yo-yo. You go up and down, looking for happiness, searching for happiness. You think you find it, then it betrays you, and you become miserable. So the question is there a way to have real happiness that is unchanging? Is there a way to have unalloyed happiness, uninterrupted happiness, that has absolutely nothing to do with person, place, or thing? The answer is yes. As a matter of fact, the happiness that I'm referring to is your real nature. This is what you really are. Happiness, true happiness, that has absolutely nothing to do with the world, or your body, or other planets, or anything else. That happiness may be called bliss. Total joy. All you have to do to achieve this happiness is to kill your ego. It sounds like a hard job, but it's not. You destroy your ego by beginning to live in the now, by letting go of the past, not concerning yourself with the future, and living in the eternal now. Prove this to yourself. Look at the second you're living in. Is there anything happening in that second? Is there something annoying you? Something bothering you? There's no time for this to happen because you're living in the second. In the second in which you live right now, there's absolutely nothing happening to make you miserable, to make you happy, according to human standards. You are living in the immediate second. Now what if you were able to take that second and expand it into eternity, into infinity, This would mean that you would be forever happy, forever at peace. But most of you begin to think about the past, you begin to worry about the future. You think about your past experiences, you bring them into your present and spoil that second. Why do you do this? Because you've been brainwashed. You've been hypnotized. You've been led to believe that you are a body living in a world, having to make things happen for survival, going through the life, working in a job, coming home watching TV, can't wait for the weekend to come so you can get drunk, or you can go see a movie, or this is your life. This is the kind of life most of us live. What if I told you there was another life? A life of such peace, a life of such bliss, that will always be yours. Yet what do you have to do to achieve this? Again, you have to kill the ego. You kill the ego by stopping the thoughts. You have to stop thinking. Stop thinking forever. If you investigate yourself, you will see that your true self does not have to think. Your real self, which is consciousness, just is. It is not this or that. It is pure being. There is no interpretation for this. It has nothing to do with you and your affairs and your life. It is a substratum of all existence. It is a background of all of your ideas, your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs. It is like a chalkboard. You draw pictures of images on the chalkboard, and you get involved in the images. The images always change. When you get tired of them, you erase them from the chalkboard. You draw new images. Yet the chalkboard never changes. The chalkboard remains the same. And so it is, there's something within you that never changes, that is always the same. This is your true nature, your swarupa. It is called the ultimate reality. It is called pure awareness. It is called by many names. You may also call this God. This is a substratum of your existence. When you let go, when you begin to forget about your image as a human being, when you stop thinking about your affairs in the world and its affairs, the true self, which is the substratum I'm talking about, comes into existence, comes into play. It begins to make itself known. And you begin to disappear. What you believed was important, your meager existence, begins to take a back seat, and the true you, the true self, prevails. This is what ensues when you begin to drop your thoughts, your belief system, your preconceived ideas, your concepts. All of these things must go if you want to be yourself, the happy self, the uninterrupted, happy, blissful self. What are you willing to do about it? You cannot go on the way you've been going on if you wish to experience this beauty, this unparalleled joy. You cannot continue the life you've been living. There has to be a total and complete change. Everything that you have picked up since you were born has to become transcended and transmuted. You must begin to understand that it is your mind which has created the universe, the world, and your body. What you call your mind is only a conglomeration of thoughts, ideas, beliefs. This is what we call the mind. It is this mind that makes us forget our real nature. The mind and the ego are synonymous. Yet you ask me, can you exist without a mind? Can you function without a mind? Where were you before you were born? You had no mind then. And you functioned very well. Now you picked up the body you have, and you are forgotten that you are not the mind nor the body, and you live a bodily existence, wanting things, having unnatural desires, thinking you have to become a certain way in order to be totally happy. Really, there's nothing to do, nothing to become in order for you to find total happiness. It's not finding something new to add on to yourself. It's letting go of everything you've been holding on to. Becoming virtually empty. Total emptiness. Total emptiness. Becoming a no one, a nobody, a nothing. Allowing all of your preconceived ideas and your conceptual thinking to dissolve. Letting go of everything that you've been holding on to, your desires, your emotions, becoming a simple person. not worrying about the future, being yourself. Absolute reality. The self which is God. Allowing that to take place. Forgetting about time and space. Not trying to change the world or anyone else. Not even trying to change yourself. But rather going deep within yourself. Diving deep within yourself. Deeper than you've ever gone before. The deeper you dive, the more the ego disappears. Remember, the ego, the body, the mind are one. They never existed, really. This is the amusing thing of this whole teaching. When you get to that place, when you get to that space, where the mind seems to be destroyed, you start to laugh at yourself, realizing you never had a mind to begin with. There was never an ego nor a mind. Yet you've been spending hour after hour, day after day, week after week, trying to quiet the mind that doesn't exist. Why do you do this? Who knows? Why do you do anything you do? It is your business to do the right things in order for you to become self-realized. You begin this when you get up in the morning. When you first get out of bed, when you first open your eyes, you can ask yourself the question, who am I? What you're really saying is, where did the I come from? Where did the I come from? When you're referring to this I, you're referring to the I that says, I got out of bed, I slept well, now I'm going to get dressed. That is the I I'm referring to. Inquire within, where does this I come from? Who am I? Am I my body? If I were my body, really my body, it would never change. But yet when I was a little baby, I shed into a little person, then to a big person, here I am now, and I keep changing every day. Therefore, how can I be real? For when I look up the word real in the dictionary, it means something that is unchanging. Something that is never changes, something that stays the same. So I cannot be my body. Am I the mind that thinks? Again, I cannot be the mind that thinks. For the mind keeps changing itself every second, bringing me different thoughts, good thoughts, bad thoughts, fear thoughts, happy thoughts. Again, this is not real. So am I part of this world? Well, the world is the same way. It keeps changing constantly. Constantly changing. So I cannot be the world. Therefore, who am I? Do not answer that question. Just ask it. As you keep on asking this question, things take care of themselves. As you go through your day, remember to ask the question over and over again. Keep inquiring over and over again. Who am I? And when the answer comes to you, say no, I'm not this. I am not this. All kinds of answers will come to you. Your mind will tell you, you are a man, you are a woman, you are a working person, you are retired, you are going to school. And always catch yourself and say, no, I am not this. For it is not permanent. How can I be something which is not permanent? As you keep inquiring this way, something profound begins to happen to you. As you keep doing this day after day after day, you start to feel joy for no reason at all. You start to feel happiness for no reason whatsoever. You start to feel peace. Where there is conflict in the world, man is in humanity to man, there may be conflict in your life, but you begin to feel peace. For the inquiry that you are doing is putting an end to the mind, to the ego, little by little by little. You have to keep this up. You have to keep doing this without ever stopping. As the thoughts come to you, as your mind is full of thoughts, you ask yourself, to whom do these thoughts come? You inquire, who's thinking these thoughts? I am. Then who am I? Do not try to analyze this. For you're using your mind to analyze it, and it is your mind we're trying to destroy. Therefore you cannot use your mind to become free. Otherwise it's like a thief becoming a policeman to catch a thief. It'll never really catch a thief because it's the thief itself. The birds had made nests in his hair. He was sitting there meditating. All of a sudden he felt the presence of a great sage coming by. He knew inwardly this was a great sage. He opened one eye and looked, and he said to the sage, "Holy Father, where are you going?" The sage said, "I'm going to see God." The monk replied, Holy Father, when you see God, would you please ask him for me how much longer I have to sit here in meditation before I become absolutely free? Before I become liberated? The sage said, yes, my son, I will. He walked down the road, there was another monk about a mile away also sitting in meditation. He apparently had also been sitting for year after year. His hair had gone into the street. He was in total silence. He felt the presence of the sage also. He opened his eyes and he said, Holy Father, where are you going? The sage said, I'm going to see God. Will you please intervene for me and ask God how much longer I have to sit like this before I become liberated? The sage replied, yes, my son, I will. 6 months passed. The first monk was sitting in meditation as usual. He again felt the presence of the sage. He opened his eyes and he smiled and he said, have you seen God? Yes, my son. Did you ask him for me how much longer I have to meditate this way before I become free and liberated? Yes, I did. The monk became excited. What did he say? How long do I have to sit here? The sage pointed to a tree. He said, you see the leaves in that tree? God told me that you have to reincarnate as many times as there are leaves on this tree before you become totally liberated. The monk became upset. He became hysterical. He said, what? I've been meditating like this all these years, and now you tell me this? To heck with this. I'm going to town to get drunk. And he brushed himself off and left for town. The sage came to the second monk. Again, the second monk felt his presence, opened his eyes, asked him, Holy Sir, did you ask God how much longer I have to sit here? The sage told him the same thing. Yes, he said, you see the leaves on this tree? You have to reincarnate as many times as there are leaves on this tree. But this monk reacted quite differently. He started to dance and to sing. And he said, thank you, God, it's only one tree. And the sage said to him, my son, you're already free. The meaning of the story is, do not look at time, do not look at space, do not look at other people, do not wonder about how many times you have to come back to this earth, when you're going to be reborn as a frog, or a tree, or go to a different planet. Forget about all these things. Your job is to dive deeply into yourself. Forget about the world. Why do you forget about the world in this teaching? For when you discover yourself, you will see that you are the world. You are the world. You yourself are this world, this universe. The self is all-pervading, omnipresence, and you are that. Therefore, when you become a peaceful person, a happy person, a real person, a true being, the self, what will you see? You will see the self, you will see a mirror. You have become a mirror, and the world is a reflection of you. Consequently, wherever you look, you will see yourself. And what is yourself? The happy being I was referring to. The peaceful person I'm talking about. You are that. So wherever you look, you see yourself. And this makes this world a beautiful world in which to live. For you are creating a world of peace such as yourself, and harmony such as yourself. This is why in Advaita Vedanta we do not look at the world. For we realize we're only seeing ourselves where we are. If you see problems in this world, if you call this a mean world, something wrong with this world, you're just seeing your image. This is you. So change yourself. Not other people, not the world, but yourself. Do what is necessary to become totally free and liberated. For I fool you not when I say you are the absolute reality. You are Satchitananda. You are ultimate oneness, Nirvana. You are the Buddha. You are God. You are free. You are that.